Imagine walking out of the tunnel, the entire crowd's cheering your name, thousands of people all around drenching your team colors, wearing your jerseys, and spending lots of money for seats all just to come and watch you play. Yet you're not seeing a dime of it. Hi, my name is Ryan Willoughby. Today I'm going to bring up some good facts on why college football players should be paid. Today I'm actually going to be covering some of the greatest college football programs, how much money they make, and also I'm going to get into the life of a college football player and some of the struggles going through college without being paid. I'm going to finish by telling you how I think paying them will improve the system and also make it fair. College football is a big moneymaker. Every single Saturday, millions are tuned in to watch these athletes. So, just as you are seeing these universities out there playing, they are making a profit. First, I'm going to get into my favorite college football program, which is the University of Texas. According to an article from the Business Insider, the University of Texas football program has made $104.5 million last year. That is a huge number. Longhorn players, if that money is divided up, if you actually sit there and divide it up, the 85 scholarships that they actually have are worth about $578,000 per player. So you can see where it doesn't add up. Some of the people say that they're already receiving a scholarship and that should be enough for the college players. But Texas actually only spent $3.2 million on scholarships, which is only about 3.2% of the total revenue that they actually earned. Even an article on ESPN explains that the college football apparel and merchandise is roughly about $4.6 billion business, but yet none of these college athletes see any of that money, ever. After the college football program actually gets their money and the player goes back to campus, life is not so glorious for them. These players, they're on the field playing day in and day out for these fans, and they're going to practice each and every day. It's almost like having a full-time job, playing football. But they know they don't make any real money. They're not able to go out and spend just a little bit on themselves. Some of them can't even support themselves properly. According to an article in the Huffington Post called "Why College Football Players Should Get Paid," a typical day for a football player is to wake up early, lift weights, go to class till about 3 or 4 p.m., and then they're going to go to practice right afterwards. Then they're going to go to somewhat of a mandatory study hall and then finish homework for a test. So you can see, is there really any time in the day for a college football player to actually make any sort of money? With some of these college football players, you can see on the news and stuff like that not being paid leads these athletes to go out and doing things against the NCAA rules and regulations just to get paid. Not too long ago, Johnny Manziel was accused of actually going out and getting paid to just sign his signature. When you're caught by the NCAA, you could lose eligibility, and it'll ultimately ruin your college career, maybe even your professional career, all because you want to get paid. You are not getting paid. Paying a college football player seems really like the only fair thing to do. And here's how I think it should actually be done. College football players do get a full scholarship, but as I mentioned earlier, it only averages about $25,000 a year. But it doesn't support them on a day-to-day basis. They're not given money for food. They're not given money for water. They're not given money for anything besides to go to school and get books. Giving the college players some sort of a stipend of what they actually would make if they didn't have a full-time job as playing football would be sufficient enough for them. It would keep them out of trouble, and it would also give them a little bit of extra freedom to be able to go out just like any other normal human being. College players make the university lots of money, so the least they deserve is to be able to go out and see a movie or buy a meal without having to fend for themselves. Many college football players actually get in trouble with the law for robbery, theft, some things like that. This multi-million-dollar industry right behind them. They are supporting this industry, yet they can't even make money off any of the money that the university makes. It's not right. College athletes should be paid. So, now that I've given you some of the facts and some of the opinions, let's go over what I talked about. Today, I gave you the solid facts to justify why college athletes should be paid. I talked about specific university and broke down some of the numbers on how much money the college football players actually make for the University of Texas. That was my example that I used. I also went into the everyday life of a college football player and why it is hard for them to make money. Even though they have a full-time job as a football player, they don't get paid for it at all. I also talked a little bit about how they should actually go about paying these athletes, not just giving them multi-millions of dollars worth of money. Yes, they are student athletes and they are getting paid, but there should be some sort of system where the college athletes should be reimbursed for the money that they make these universities. And also still factor in the scholarship money that they make. Thank you, class, and I hope you're convinced that college athletes should be paid.